Morning, everybody. Michelle here. Um, all right, so I wanted to um, talk a little bit about. Oh, let me get the date. The October 24th, 2022. So I want to talk about what this is probably gonna be my last video, and then well I'll do the bamboo and that's it. Um, the bamboo probably tomorrow or something. Film it. So I wanted to focus a little bit more on my brain as a visionary, as I destroy, as I give that definition to it. Nobody's told me I'm a visionary. Nobody told me anything about how I process things. I had to take some, I did some online research, when I was doing my, I call it, it's called homeschooling now. When I was just learning things and learning techniques and learning, getting business, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff that I was attempting to develop. Now, I do write, okay? I do write. I did publish a book, but everything that's out there in the internet land is unedited, and I've done everything I can to kind of pull that stuff away. But you pull it away, and then it pops up 10 places elsewhere. So everything about what I put out back in the day, I think it's been 5 years since I've done anything on, in that capacity online, where, because I had a blog, I had websites, all that was shut down. And because I was compromised and all this kind of stuff. And it was shut down. I shut everything down because the contradictions were that I was witnessing were driving me more so insane. All the marketing techniques and all that stuff was just starting to bother me and disturb me. I'm just being real honest, okay? So that's why I pulled all that stuff off. I pulled all of that stuff down. And then on top of that, I got writer's block anyway. I don't want to write shit right now. I don't have no desire to be writing anything. Because like I said, things are just driving me insane. All this contradiction. And on top of that, what's spinning out of all of it is this pathological lying. Okay, got to get it out. Yeah, this pathological lying. That's what's driving me more so insane than contradictions. Because contradictions are going to exist one way or another. There's nothing, I can't get rid of contradictions. I mean, they're a part of life, just as positive and negative. But there's different levels of, and different levels of each. There's a different, and then it's also how you are attempting to interpret it. Positive and negative can mean different things to scientists, math, people working in math versus personal stuff, personal emotions and stuff like that. So I have writer's block. I don't think I want to write again. I really don't, because it was just driving me insane. All these contradictions, and then yeah. So that's done. So I just want to make that clear. If you see shit out there online, I did everything to clean it out, and and a lot of that stuff is unedited, meaning you may see all kind, whatever. They're not supposed to be selling it, but so that's out of the way. Now this pathological lying, that is what's disturbing me more than anything going on in the world. To be honest with you, there's a lot going on, as we all know, and I can remember being on, during my childhood, it was definitely a lot of contradiction going on. Where people would be saying stuff to me, okay, but their actions were doing elsewhere. Were going elsewhere. Their eyes were going elsewhere. You understand what I mean? I developed early, so I mean that should tell you. But everything's balanced now. No, let me stop. But yeah, there was always this like, okay, you're saying this to me, but then, and so yeah, the pathological lying. And why are we lying so much about simple things? I just never could figure that out. because that's my coffee pot. Okay, good. So so let me just give you an example. Well, not without going into so much details, which I can't. Oof. And that's probably why I can't handle a lot of details. I can't handle a lot of details because I'm telling you, people have been able to structure stuff to where if you are not confused and don't know what to do, I mean, you can be more so. So that's why I get really I'm picking up contradictions when certain things were developing about that man, the one with the mental health crisis. I saw all these contradictions, after because it was exposed what was going on. In my opinion, that's my opinion. All right, and then people coming on, and that's when I really said, okay, I'm done with this TV watching because people were coming on attempting to persuade everybody about this, convince people of that, just trying to give their theories, which so we're gonna have to just shut shit down, shut some of this chattering down because it's hurting them. It's hurting all of us, you know, cause and effect, you know. So the pathological lying, though, over these seemingly simple things, that's the part that's really troubling my brain. I mean, good Lord, can you? Because in my opinion, when I was on the road, and the majority of the calls we would get were traffic crashes, blah blah, whatever, traffic incidents. I shouldn't have said. Um, and involving two people, A and B, and A would say, and what I usually do, I would separate them, of course. You gotta when you're trying to talk to people and get their versions of events, it's always best to separate them so that there's no contamination on what one person is saying versus the other. So that's what I used to do, and that's how you're trained to do it, right? So we'll have A saying one thing, and then we'll have B. Now, and then I am there, as C to determine fault, and I'll explain why that's irritating as well. So, so I'll have them separated. A will say one thing, cool, all right. And B will say another, oh, cool, okay. So I make them stand by. I go look at the damage, okay, and based on what A said, and based on what B said, it was obvious to me who's at fault here, right? But it always became an issue, I would say, on maybe 90% of my calls, and I took a lot of calls over the course of my career involving traffic, crashes or whatever people are calling it. I don't know. I would say 90% of the time, A always blamed B and B always blamed A. When I'm looking at the vehicles and you're telling me what you've done, it's obvious A is at fault, but nope, 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 nope. And so what I used to do is, especially if it was minor stuff, I used to move real quick. The quicker you move and get the hell out of that scene, the better. Because if you stand around and standing there trying to do your report, after I've already said A is at fault here, and B's gone on their way, and if I stay on that scene, I can guarantee you A is gonna come back to me and change her story. And so, you know what, officer? I was just thinking here. Okay, I'm out. So that's when I used to just get the hell out of these scenes. I would be there, and boom, I'm out. Out. After I've done all my look, I look around for stuff that can support what these two people, A and B, are saying, like surveillance, witnesses, blah 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 blah. And sometimes before I can even get back to the office, sometimes, just to take a little break and go to the bathroom, this person A is calling, again, changing their story. You know what, officer? I think, just, oh my God. This went on for almost my whole career. All this, all these contradictions and and, and then, I mean, having surveillance did help. I'm just gonna be honest. Surveillance around the world does help in certain cases, but in but it's not. Well, let me not go there. It helps. It does help. When you have them at in certain places and stuff like that. Uh, of actual, and I'll tell you why I don't necessarily trust a an individual. So, say for example, A and B got in a crash. Okay, A claims to have had a witness name, and he's D. He's D. Okay, so A and B are in a crash. I'm C. I'm just there. I didn't witness nothing. And then D just happens to. So an A will call me back again, possibly, and say, you know what, officer, I think I have a witness, and all of a sudden now you got a witness, and there were no witnesses at the scene. It was driving me insane. And what was driving me more so insane were the managers and how they would allow these people to be doing this to us. And then some managers will say, well, Michelle, you need to change this report. Okay, because A is calling back and she's upset. Okay, she said she was trying to tell you, and it became all of that shit. This is what the battle was. All the time. Because the managers didn't want to deal with A. So in order to make A happy, I had to add shit to a report that wasn't. Let me not say that. You didn't hear that. So my point, and I'm not going to take that out either. I'm not taking it out. So, make sure I got time here. Yeah. So those were the battles for me, as a visionary person, because we were trained to know who's at fault in the most cases, right? In most cases, it was just the simple things that was going on. People being distracted, not paying attention, looking away, and guess what? You know. So, in my brain, that's where all the struggle is. Trying to make sense of this world and make sense of our behavior and why we're acting like this and why we're saying this and why all this, why people are just they're just let me stop regurgitating and saying this and just pouring shit out of their mouth, and it doesn't match up at all with their behavior or their actions. And that used to drive me in complete insanity, because I'm just trying to make sense of the world. I'm just trying to make sense, make it make sense to me. That's all I want. I don't need to hear all the details. Just tell me what happened real quick, and let's get the hell out of here. Why would anybody want to be standing around talking to me anyway? Shit. So that's what I would do. I would get that stuff quick, and boop, I'm out. And and then just imagine just constantly looking at a computer all day and typing, got stuff in. I mean, I'm not complaining about the career choice, not at all. But I'm just saying all the factors involved that cause us to be so distracted and cause us to be so, just not thinking clearly sometimes. And so that has been the struggle. I just don't understand the pathological lying. I'll share more about it, over the course of time. I'll pop in and do a video, when inspiration hits. It's I'm just attempting to make sense of the world. That's my version of a visionary. I just want to understand what is really going on. Okay, because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, as we all know. People throwing up terms that have not been used in over 50 years. This particular person, you know who you are. You were talking to the Congresswoman, you remember a couple of days ago? You're throwing up terms that have not been used in almost 50 years. you know, and it's just the contradictions that trouble me so much. But more so, the pathological lying is what's harming us the most. Because because nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to be wrong. Though, no, I'm not wrong. My theories are right. Come on now, theories don't mean shit. They're nothing. No, no. My theories are right. And then they'll do everything in their power to be flipping through books and, and carrying on, and just to win an argument over something so simple and irrelevant, and not letting, just let it go. Why do you need to be right? Why is your view on the world right as opposed to everybody else's? I mean, can we just be neutral about it and move on? Nobody wants to do that. They'll sit there and argue and go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it just goes on. I mean, for simple things, I enjoy certain type of back and forth. Like I told you, it kind of reminds me of growing up. How we used to have these kind of exchanges. But that's not what's happening overall offline. We all know that. People will sit there and just argue with you. And I used to have that too in my career. They just want to sit there and I leave. I'm not sitting there. I'm not going to be standing there and taking none of that from nobody. I don't care what kind of job I have. And that's another thing we bring up too. The treatment of people that choose to get into public servant or be a service person providing service. Why are we being so disrespectful towards these people? If I don't get the right amount of cream in my coffee, I'm gonna throw that shit in your face. That kind of carrying on like that. What is that all about? I mean, these people, like I said, it's a public service. Yes, I will do everything I can to serve you, but I'm not gonna be subservient to no one. I'm not being subservient to no one ever. I don't care what your rank is. I don't even care what your title is. Okay, we are, in my opinion, we were equal. I'm talking about coworkers I work with. And some of you know who you were. Okay, I'm not going to be subservient to you because of your rank. I'm not. I respect it, but I'm not. I won't ever be subservient to anyone. And that will always be. And that's what I want to teach my girls. Well, I don't have any kids, but you know what I'm saying. My girls, and all girls really, especially Black females. So we can stop all this erosion and all this carrying on. I mean, yeah, fun is fun. We know how to have a good time. That's not what we're lacking, though. We're not lacking good times. We're lacking, all this common sense. And all this carrying on. That's why I say, well, why are people acting like this? And why is everybody upset? What is everybody upset? That's why I stay off TV. I can't handle it because it'll be something popping and then it's gone. Okay, and then I look crazy like, okay, well, now didn't I just see something popping up and, oh, jeez, not say that word because that's, no, I won't say anything about that. Okay, so yeah, it tears up my brain. No, well, not tear it up, but it just causes me to just like, I got to get away from this. I got to get away from it. It's just too much. It's too much to process. And it's not even worth processing. What am I processing some of this shit for? Which is meaning, it has no meaning, right? And it's irrelevant. Gosh. And so a lot of that is happening. And then most of it is happening online, as we all know. And then it filters offline. Where people think that because of my former career, they can always just come up to me when I'm in my fucking yard and ask me questions. I had to put a stop to that. Okay, I had to put a stop to that. Because when I'm in my yard, that's my place. Don't be coming over in my yard asking me questions about shit that you can look it up yourself. I had to put a stop to all of that. Okay, because no. Because this is getting crowded out here too, It was kind of it's getting crowded too. They're building all over the place. So anyway, as a visionary person, I could handle now. I could handle everything that's I can handle the contradictions. I can handle the pathological lying. I can handle all that. I just don't understand why it's happening. That's the part. That's where I'm having trouble attempting to make sense of it all. Why is this all happening? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I do, but I'm not going to say. I just need to leave it alone for now. When it's proper time to deal with it, it'll be dealt with. But I'm going to be realistic, and I'm not going to be expecting a whole lot of nothing. I'm not. But I do want to have a long and great, life and enjoy myself just like everybody else is doing. And I just want to be, what I'm supposed to be, and enjoy my life. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off right there. And tomorrow I'll probably do something with, show you the bamboo, and then we'll take it from there. Peace and love, everybody. Have a great day.